Hi, this is Carmen Dahlman.
And Terry Kuchek with High Desert Screening.
And we have our guest, Jeffrey Williams, here today with us. How you doing?
Doing good, yeah.
Doing good.
Jeffrey's film, Bring the Gun, was chosen as one of the finalists for our film festival this year. High Desert Screening, Albuquerque, 2020. And we thought it was important to talk to him and ask him some questions that we didn't know about. We want to learn a little bit more about you, and was very impressed with the project.
Thank you, and I appreciate you guys inviting me. It's really cool.
Sure. So tell us a little bit about Bring the Gun.
So Bring the Gun, I'd written it back in 2016. Originally it was called Masked, and it was about a scene where a guy robs a bank, drives off, and he is with another guy, or supposedly, and they're both in masks the entire movie. And he ends up getting away, and they have an argument while they're driving, and it turns out he ends up killing the other guy. And in a way, it was like himself. It was like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, where it was just the same guy going through a mental crisis. I was like, that's kind of boring. I want to be a little more straightforward and not so confusing.
Right. And that sounds pretty cool, though.
So how the idea came up? Did you experience something like that? A friend told you something like that, or like? It's
kind of influenced from Hell or High Water. That was my first movie I worked on as crew. I stood in on that, and I just loved the westerns and thrillers. I was like, I want to make something that kind of pays homage to that, and so I started thinking of ideas. And that's when I was younger, and I was like, oh, this is too meta. It felt very film schooly. Oh, it's one person killing themselves. So I was like, I want to be a little more straightforward. And then I hadn't directed in a year and a half. And my buddy Brandon was like, what do you want to direct? I was like, well, I have this script. And I sent it to him. And then we kind of workshopped it back and forth in his apartment and just walked around and thought about what these guys would say. And then it changed.
I think that's what impressed us so much was, looking at your profile and learning a bit about you and realizing that you are a new filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And
how long you been directing? Because I've seen other projects that you have done.
I think I started doing shorts in 2015 when I was in film school at Eastern New Mexico.
But looking at this short project, this short film, you look like a very advanced director. It really is. It really is. It's.
One of my favorite scenes of that film, it was when the guy shoots someone who was running when you guys come out of the bank.
Oh yeah, when you run.
I just really like it. How do you guys do that? You pan up, but then there's something there that is hard for me to tell. Is the background moving, or he's walking back, or what, or the camera is
Camera's moving with him. So we did a lot of rehearsals to time it out just right, where we follow the gun into the guy. So we kind of pan with Brandon's hand as he's going with the gun, and then he shoots a fake gun, and then that's effects, of course.
So it's effects, because I was trying to figure out how they did shoot that scene, because that grabbed me
And
I love to watch movies.
It's really cool.
I was trying to figure out how they did it, so I couldn't figure it out.
And there's pieces falling and stuff from the gun. There's little black embers in the air, and that was my editor Brandon. He's the one acting in it with me. He's my editor as well. He's really good.
So it was
and he's good
effects with the movement of the camera.
Yeah, so it's a combination.
It came out beautiful.
Thank you. And then our makeup, she's really good. Clarissa Anello, she was also our stills photographer. But she's super good, and she made it look believable with the blood underneath and the the gun
realistic.
charred. And it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah. So you wrote this solo?
No, I wrote it with Brandon.
Oh, so you guys pair up a lot, or?
I started working with him in 2015 or 2014, and I love his directing, and he's directed me a lot, and he gets weird performances from me.
Yeah.
He pushes me a lot more, so I always want to work with him and include him in any way I can.
That's
and
fabulous.
So he's kind of my editor also. He does music. He's just really talented. And then with Avery, I've been with him since 2014 as well, and he shot my first short film. And we all went to school together.
What is that, your first short film?
William Lee Weston. It was my directing final in a museum about a kid. I don't know, scaring a girl in a museum, and then he asks her out on a date. It was kind of a little rom-com.
Okay, so how many short films have you directed so far?
I guess maybe 7.
7.
I think 7 is what I'm at.
That is fantastic.
That's nice. Do you have a company name?
Oh yeah, me and Avery started a company. We're called In-House Productions.
So
I was
there
going to
you
ask
go.
you about that.
People can follow you.
Yeah.
Are you on Facebook?
No, we're on Instagram.
On
We're on
Instagram?
Instagram and we have our website.
There you go. What's the website?
In-house ABQ. No, in-house. Yeah, inhouseabq.com.
There you go. So you can follow him now.
Yeah.
Check out his work. You do a great job.
Oh, thanks.
Fantastic.
We
Keep it
try
up,
to.
though. This fly is just
Yeah.
bugging. So how did you get involved with the industry? I know that you went to college, you graduated, but what calls you? Like when was it? How did you know that this was something that you wanted to do?
I guess I didn't realize it till I was in college that I wanted to act. I thought I was going into music. I love writing songs just from ear, and then I was in band. I played like tuba, so I know a little bit of composition, and I thought that's what I wanted to do. But then I saw there was a film program, and I met Mr. Rutland. He was the film professor overhead there at Eastern, and he signed me up for all film classes without like asking me. I just met him at a booth, and he threw me in the classes, and he called me the next day. He's like, "This is your schedule."
Have you thanked him yet?
Yes, yeah. I was like, "Thank you so much." But like, I realized I'd always wanted to do it because when I was a kid, with my youth group, we would do puppet shows and everything, and do little skits. And I was always doing that with my youth group and performing in front of the other kids and putting on shows. And so it kind of kept going. Even in high school, I did some plays like Guys and Dolls. I was just a dancer. But
Wow.
So
where are you from?
I'm from Hobbs, New Mexico.
So you've always been in New Mexico?
I've been in New Mexico, the whole time. So
Cool. I think last Santa Fe Film Festival for my venue, I chose one of your short films. What was the name of it?
I've Got Skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a cute short film, like about Halloween-ish.
Yeah, it was Halloween and a couple's misunderstanding of each other in a discussion, and he's trying to break up with her because he doesn't like that she doesn't celebrate Halloween with him. And then he ends up killing her. And it's like, it takes a dark turn.
So you use guns and violence in all of your short films?
No, that's what's weird.
Just giving you a
Yeah,
hard time.
no,
have a gun right there.
That wasn't written down, I promise.
I like putting characters in situations where they have to react. And
Love that.
I like to put drama. And so usually starting with a gun. Yeah, and dark comedy. It's like, I want to be a little bizarre, but also straightforward.
Yeah.
But I like putting characters in situations. So like starting on a gun is very cliche for Bring the Gun. We're like, this is a cliche thing to do. But as long as we use it as a tool throughout the film and show the toxic masculinity used in guns, and that's why we don't have any females in the movie. Because it's about toxic masculinity and how far someone will go because of their ego. And so we knew we would use the gun over and over again as a tool for and heighten the stakes each time. Like then you see a cop and there's a gun is used again. And then the other guy, his partner, has the gun. So it's like each time the gun is used, it's heightened. So it's not, it has violence to like grab the audience and to be dramatic, but it's not about promoting violence.
Right.
So I'm totally against violence. I don't think it should be used, but I think it's great in cinema.
Yeah.
It's where you can show how bad violence is and how it affects people.
Yeah. Well, Bring the Gun, I loved it. It was fantastic.
Don't bring it here, though.
No.
Well, I noticed you like cars.
Yes.
Most of your short films, he has to show like this kind of type of cars. Like, why? I mean, why? Is your signature? Is something like?
It kind of is. When I was young, I wanted to be like a NASCAR driver. I started driving when I was like 2 years old, driving go-karts. I wanted to drive very young.
To drive those.
They're so fun, and I just love cars. I think it's a sense of freedom. Like you get your provisional, you get your permit and all that. You can drive. You don't have to be with your parents anymore. You can drive wherever you want. It's freedom.
It's a great freedom.
And so cars kind of represent freedom for me, and it adds a layer of a character. Like they kind of are the car.
Are they yours or you just rent them?
I'm renting them. And this one was from Wayne Elliott with locations and equipment. He has a lot. So I rented the cop car from him. And then this other car was rented from a grip that I knew.
Where did you get the police car?
From Wayne Elliott. He has a lot of all these old cars. And he made a deal.
The badge is an Albuquerque police.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with that?
He is. His name's Jeremiah Phillips. We work with him on in union shows as grips. He's another grip, and he's an ex-cop. So he had the uniform. So I was like, this is great. Do you want to play the cop? Because he still had the boots and everything. I was like, cool, this is perfect. And he helps us out. So we had him.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing you for a long time in the industry, because you're not just, I mean, Bring the Gun is not just a short film, but there's obviously a lot of deep thinking and thought, and you know, using local resources to the max. Pretty fantastic. So I'm, you know, I was impressed by the film, and you know, the acting in it. Bryce, I know Bryce.
Yeah.
He's quite the actor.
I got
so-
surprised when I saw Bryce.
Yeah,
Bryce.
we're a little partial to Bryce.
He's so good. Yeah, he came on the day and just, I didn't really know him that well, and Brandon knew him, and he showed up and did one take, and I was like, I don't think we need to do it. It wasn't even a take, it was a rehearsal, a camera rehearsal.
Wow.
And he killed it, and I was like, we'll do 3 more just in case, but like, I was so jealous, because it takes me like 10 or 11.
He's great. He's a really great actor, so.
And he's very humble.
Yes.
He has a nice personality to him, and I just want to keep him around.
He's a good
I do
graphic
too.
designer too.
He did.
Designed the poster this year.
Yeah,
That's so
he
cool.
sure did. Yeah.
On the program.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff.
Nice.
I have one more question. Well, or 2 or 3 or 4.
Oh, go for it. I'm good.
What are you working on right now?
Right now, what I'm working on, we're planning a feature. I'm producing it and acting in it, and Brandon will be directing it along with his sister Amy. So they're going to co-direct it, and Avery's shooting it. And so right now we're about to head into crowdfunding. We're shooting the Indiegogo this Friday, and we're going to try to do it with 50 or 60,000, which isn't much.
Yeah. How long is it? Like,
It's 95 pages.
yeah.
It's a full.
Wow,
it's a
that's
thriller.
A full feature.
Yeah, it's a thriller about a voice actor wanting to become famous. So she goes and visits an older voice actor who is known. He's like the Walt Disney in this world for voice acting and creating animations. So she wants to go learn from him, but she finds out that this voice is possessing him, and it's almost a mental thing, but it's also this thrilling voice that's in his throat that he has to cut out, and he's got to kill. Because it possesses all these voice actors and controls their lives.
Once again, really dark.
Yeah, it's very dark, but it seems like there's a sweetness to it before you hear the voice.
Nice.
So it has a war scene. It has musical numbers. It's a thriller. It has some black and white stuff, and we're excited. So it's
That's
pretty
fantastic.
big scale.
Well, I know someone with tanks.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you're looking for military,
Okay.
look me
There
up.
you go.
Yeah,
That'd be really
he's got a warehouse full of, and he is all about film. So yeah.
Okay.
So this is
Fantastic.
your first like full
This is our-
feature
yeah.
production?
We're like, we need to do one. So this is our chance to kind of crowdfund. We've been wary of it because I've done it in the past for shorts, and I'm like, you get certain amounts of time to do it before people will stop donating. Like your friends and family will be like, we've done enough. So we're using this as our
And this
ticket.
is a SAG production.
No, we're going
Yeah, this is
non-union
non-union.
because I'm not SAG eligible yet. I'm still non-union, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna take advantage of that.
You'll have
Yeah, definitely. You have to.
a date that you're shooting for.
The first 2 weeks of March is what we're saying.
Oh, yeah, it's hard right now, the
Yeah.
state being shut down and everything. Well, you know, we're already accepting trailers for next year, so when you guys get prepared.
Okay.
So-
But if you
Yes.
have any other projects you want to
Yeah.
submit, you're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, because we really enjoy your work, and we
Well,
thank
thank
you
you.
for taking the time to sit
Yeah.
down and be our guinea pig for our first interview with a local director.
Well, thanks for
Yeah.
having me. It's really cool that you're keeping it local. And
Yeah, that's what High Desert, we are all about, supporting every aspect of the creative art industry here in New Mexico, and you are definitely enhancing that. So
thanks,
I look
we
forward
try.
to seeing those names for
Yeah.
sure.
I have
Yeah.
one more question. Oh, my question. What do you like? Okay, what do you enjoy the most? Because we are kind of like you, like behind the cameras and in front of the cameras, actors, directors, producers.
We're all over
writers,
the place.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all over. What do you enjoy to do the most? Like
it's
this is.
for me, it's acting. Everything else supplements it. Like I do everything else for the money so I can act. I do everything else to pay the bills so that I can make my own content and act if that's what it takes. Like I'm still auditioning. I'm represented, and doing auditions, but I'm tired of kind of waiting, so you got to make your own opportunity while you're waiting.
Exactly.
And
we were
so-
just talking about that.
So that's what we're working on. And I'm like, if I got to do sound or if I need to produce to get something done, I will, so that I can act, because the best moments are between action and cut. It's just like, I'm on set, I get to do this is what I'm doing, and it's super hyper focused. And like, that's when you're paying attention to everything in your life right there.
Good
So-
for
Wow.
you. Good
Yeah.
for you. I
Well, thank
mean,
you.
some people focus on just acting, which is okay if you want to pursue just acting. But I can't help it. I'm one of those people that I have the experience behind even lighting, camera. I mean, like holding the audio, like recording, editing, all that
Gotcha.
stuff.
So what's it mainly for you two?
Like look who makes the questions
ask
now.
Well, for me, I have found that I love producing. I love producing. You know, acting was such a passion of mine. I walked away from a career about 5 years ago, and my husband thought I was crazy and was pursuing acting and came to New Mexico for that, but I found that producing seems to be my thing. So, yeah.
And you're doing a great job too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's hard.
It's not about me.
It's not that.
It is. It's not an easy job, but
Jesus.
for her, I think she's.
love acting. It's like the feeling of it and the experience of it. It's intense. I love it. It's a challenge, but I also love the direction.
Okay.
She does.
Directing. It's just like.
So that's why her
I.
and we mesh so well because.
That's a good team.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
just, in High Desert, this is our second year together, and
Yeah.
we just make a great team. And like you with Brandon,
Mm-hmm.
when you find that person that they finish your sentences,
Yeah.
they know what you want before, except she didn't know I wanted her to bring the camera today. So.
I'm like, what? I don't even know if he's recording. Like, I don't know if he battery is on, but I hope it is. Yeah. I see a red light right there. Well, thank you.
Sorry, can I ask one more question?
Yes, you got it from me. More questions. Yeah.
Do you ever direct and act together?
Yeah.
You do?
I
How
actually
do you
have
find
done
that?
everything.
That seems
together.
it's very hard. I had such a hard time doing it for Bring the Gun.
Okay, this is something crazy, and I know this is not about me, but he asked. My last short film, The Keeper, it was 5 people crew and cast. 2 locations, my place, my best friend's place.
Yeah.
I did lighting, directing, and I did the cinematography.
You should check that out.
And
Was it at the Santa Fe?
he already
Yeah,
saw it at
yeah,
the
I saw it
Film
when we
Festival,
screened.
the Latin Cine, yeah.
Yeah.
So that one there,
Mhm.
I think we did almost, yeah.
Wow, that's
almost
impressive.
everything.
That's hard.
So I was like, I wasn't in front of the camera acting, but I was like directing, producing. I actually kind of edit a couple stuff.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You won't find me trying to edit.
I'm just want to learn, just
Yeah.
do like the basics, just for an emergency.
I just have a lot up here. I don't even. I'm good. I'll leave
Yeah,
it to
so
the
that one, and then my first one side, I directed and I act.
Okay.
I just love acting and directing, so I can't help it. And she's gonna help me produce my 3rd movie, Lost, and once again, I'm gonna act and direct.
Nice.
So I just enjoy doing that.
That's awesome.
So
That's
you
cool that
keep
you
on
can.
keeping on what you're doing. I mean,
Some people
Thank
think
you.
it's working.
it's
for you.
impossible and hard to do both things at the same time, but it's challenging
Mhm.
and it's not easy, but I suggest try it. I mean, if you don't try it, you will never know. You
right.
could get surprised about how much you can learn about being in front and back, and you can mess things up. I mean, but that's the way you learn. You know,
That's
That's
right.
the way you learn. So,
Yeah.
Well,
any more
congratulations.
questions,
Well, thank you guys. Yeah, that's it for me. Like,
Yeah, are you sure?
I think so.
Well.
Maybe after we cut, I'll ask some more. But
Ooh, okay. Well, thank you so much for coming up here and spending some time with us.
Yeah,
and
sure.
looking forward to see more of your work. And hi, this is Screening. We love you guys.
Very much so. Yeah, voting's still coming in, so you never
Yeah.
know what's going to happen with Bring the Guns.
Good luck, though.
yeah, thank you.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
good
And
luck.
thank you for having me again. That's awesome. I'm glad
absolutely.
you are doing this.
It was a no-brainer.
Well, thanks.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.